All right, onwards and upwards. Let's crack on with the next one. So in this case, the client is sending a HTTP delete request to our /articles route, and this should delete all the articles in our collection. So this is something we haven't done before using Express, but as you would imagine, it's pretty similar to get and post. It's simply app.delete, specifying the route and a callback. So let's go ahead and write that in our code. So just below our app.post, we're going to add the app.delete. And inside here, the route that we're going to target is exactly the same as before, /articles with an S at the end. So I'm just going to paste that in here. And then we're going to add our callback with our rec and res, and then open up a set of curly braces. And inside these curly braces, we will code up how our server will respond when the user makes that delete request to the articles route. So how do we delete all of our documents inside the articles collection using Mongoose? So in Mongoose, if you look through the documentation, you might come across a method called delete many. And here's how it might look. So first we specify the model name. So that will correspond to the collection that we want to delete. So in our case, that will be article. And then we call the delete many method. And inside this method, we specify two arguments. The first one are the conditions on which we could filter through the collection to figure out what to delete. Now, similar to how we did it with the find method, if we simply left out these conditions, then delete many will delete all of the documents inside a particular collection that we specify here. And then next, all there is a callback function where we can check to see if there were any errors or if it went successfully. So let's try this out in our code. So inside here, we're going to target the article model, which is going to correspond to the articles collection that we want to delete from. And then we write a dot and we write delete many, open some parentheses, and we're going to ignore the conditions. So we're going to delete everything. And then we're going to add a callback. And then we can check to see if there were no errors. Then we're going to res.send successfully deleted all articles. But if there was an error, then we're going to res.send the error, of course. And then we're going to close everything off with semicolons. And now we're ready to test it again using Postman. So even though previously using Postman, we tried using the post route, I can change this to any of the verbs that we already specified in our server. So for example, if I wanted to use the get request on the /articles, what would you predict we get back? All right, now let's try it, hit send, and yeah, it gets back all of the current articles that we have in our articles collection. It works exactly the same as when we did it through the browser using that URL. Now, the browser can only do get, but as we saw in the last lesson, using Postman, we can also test out post, put, patch, delete, and a whole bunch of other things. Now, to keep it RESTful, we're going to keep it only limited to these 5 verbs, and we are now testing the delete method. So we're going to send a delete request to localhost 3000 /articles, and our server hopefully should respond with the corresponding data. Now, because we're going to delete all of our documents, just before that happens, I'm going to hit copy over here after making that get request. Alternatively, you can go into Mongo 3T, and where you have your articles, if you click on this little button here, which looks like a document, you can also view all of your documents and copy it, because we're very soon going to delete all of it. So let's go ahead and hit send and send that delete request. Now you can see it says successfully deleted all articles. And if I change that to a get request now, you can see that I'm getting back nothing. And if we switch over to our Robo 3T and I click view documents, no records left. So we have now deleted all the articles when a user makes a delete request to our articles route.